Hi everyone, you are watching AllisonTV and we are getting together. Blah. We're not getting together. I'm getting ready for my friend's birthday dinner. I'm all over the place. It's okay. Before we get started, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I just need to get that out of the way because I know I'm gonna forget. But today I'm getting ready for my best friend's birthday dinner. My outfit is going to be really simple, but I don't think my makeup will be because I want to do something quick and simple simply because I'm running out of time, especially. But I'm just not in a cute, simple mood. I'm in a very dramatic makeup mood. So we're gonna see what happens as we go along. I do have a new palette. This is the very first time that I will be using ColourPop's Fade Into Hue palette. And I really like this palette because it gives me a chance to work with glitter for the first time and a whole bunch of shimmers. And so I'm scared but excited. My friend just wants to get out of the house because you guys know she's a mom and she just has not been out of the house in forever. So she wants to start getting back into her groove thing or whatever, you know. Still trying to get her groove back. So while I do this, we are going to be talking about today how to be a good friend, because some people need pointers. You know, I'm not saying that this means that I'm just the best friend ever. People have their flaws, especially when it comes to friendship, because we're all different. But yeah, there's just certain underlying things that you would think would be obvious that the world has shown me, and through previous relationships and friendships, isn't that obvious to certain people. So we're gonna be going through it today. But the two palettes that I'm going to be diving into today is my Carnival 3 palette that I showed you guys in a previous vlog. I don't know how many vlogs ago, but I showed it to you when I got a new palette. It'll be in the description box and probably in the little slide, in the little, y'all know what I'm talking about, at the end of the video. And I'm going to be dipping into that ColourPop Fade Into Hue. I've definitely had my fair share of friendship falling out things. And you know, after a while, you start to think, or people tell you after a while that, you know, if you're having the same problem, then it's not them, it's you. But sometimes, no, it's really them. Like, and especially if you're the type of person that you have a big heart and you take in certain people who, that sounds so toxic, like you have a good heart. But anyways, there really are scenarios like this where you just try, like, you're not good at saying no, and so you have these friendships with people who are the complete opposite of you, who you shouldn't be being friends with. But especially like when you're like me and you have anxiety and you have boundaries, and then you just love getting into friendship with people who have none. Yeah. And this video is to not bash any previous friends. It's just to speak on my experience and how it has helped me and how it can help someone else. So don't come for me, cause don't come for me. Just don't. So I am going to be taking Blaze in the Carnival 3 and starting somewhere with it. If you hear some snickering and laughing, that's not me, it's my boyfriend in the other room because he doesn't know how to be quiet. Babe. Ow! My God! don't think he knows I'm filming though, so it's okay. So the number one thing in friendships is be supportive. Be supportive. Understanding being supportive, but also not being a yes man. You should never feel like when you're in a friendship you're not able to voice your opinion or able to say what you think of something, when everybody else obviously can give their opinion on something and how they feel about something, and they have no shame in doing so. You should never feel like you're walking on the eggshells. But you should also be supportive, because you just have to have this understanding that at the end of the day, you and your friend live totally different lives, and that's their life to live, and that you're not responsible for their decisions. So even though you disagree with something they may be doing, you're not a parent. That's something I personally had to learn. Definitely, anytime I've ever told anybody anything, it never has come from a bad place, but at the same time, like, I've been told by other people on the outside looking in that I tend to be a person who points out certain things that people don't want pointed out. No one really wants to hear, especially when they're making bad decisions. They don't want to hear, like 9 times out of 10, most people know that it's a bad decision, and they don't want to hear from you that it's a bad decision. I'll never forget, I had this one guy friend who said that, and I thought at the time he just wasn't a good friend, but he was like, yeah, if my friends want to jump off the top of a building, I'm going to cheer them on. I'm not going to ever tell them anything is a bad idea. I'm going to always tell them whatever they want to do, no matter how dumb it sounds, that it's a good idea. And I was like, that's just not a good friend. But you have to understand your friends, and I'm a type of person that I want to be in friendship for people who can be honest with me and tell me the truth. And so that I need to be in friendships with people who I can be honest with and tell the truth to, because not a lot of people you can do that with. Now, this doesn't apply to every situation. Like, don't be that person that be like, okay, that's like your 8th shot tonight, and you know you're gonna be not feeling good and throwing up and stuff. Like, don't be that person. But I'm also not saying, you know, let your friend get into a band with 5 guys when she's completely drunk. I don't know. I'm definitely that type of friend who can see that somebody, like, if I'm friends with you, I know when you're gonna do something that you're gonna regret later. And it's just like, I definitely had a friend who I tried to be a friend to, but she was making a lot of decisions that I knew later on she was gonna feel very shitty about, and she was just gonna be so depressed. And I tried to, you know, at the time she didn't want to hear the truth, but I'm pretty sure later on in life she, you know, life happens. So we're just gonna leave that where it is. I'm taking Love in Whirl, this color from the ColourPop palette, and I'm putting that right above the red. Blend. So with that comes my second point in being a good friend, which is just knowing when to shut the up. Like, just shut up. You have to know your friends, and we all have that feeling, excuse me, we all have that feeling, like, if you're ever about to tell your friend that there's something they're doing that's gonna be bad, and you know that it's going to ruin the rest of the night, you know that they're not gonna like it, just shut the fuck up.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Like, just don't, just let them be them. Let them be happy. Like, if they want to make a up decision that's gonna f up their night, let them. If they're gonna do something they're gonna regret, you know, a couple of days later, let them. Like I said, never be so extreme to, like I said, you're letting your friend get into a van with 5 strangers. But if it's something that's just they're gonna regret later, that's minor, just let them. And when they're like, oh, why didn't you tell me? First of all, I'm not your mom. Second of all, you would have got mad. You don't want to hear it. You're not the type of friend that I can tell you the truth. And that's, I mean, you're being honest. You can be like, well, when I try to tell you certain things, you get upset. that leads me not to tell you certain things. I let you make your own decisions. You're a grown-ass person. And that's it. Also, a part of just shutting up is when your friend is coming to you about something or talking to you about something, listen. Stop making everything about you. And I'm not saying that it's not okay to compare certain situations, like because you've been through it and you're just trying to relate to them, that you understand. But don't take over the entire conversation when someone's trying to vent to you to talk about your own experiences and your own thing. Like, that person needs a listening ear right now, and you're just being a butt wipe. Just don't do that. So it's just all about knowing the type of friends you have. You know those. You know if you have a group of friends, which friends you can call and vent to, which friends you can tell the truth to, which friends you just have to leave the f alone and let them do like what they're doing. And if you know you're the type of friend that you can't sit back and let someone make their own mistakes and stuff, then be friends with someone who's okay with you telling them or letting them know, like, hey, I don't think this is a good idea, and letting them know the consequence. And you know, because there are some people who appreciate that. I'm the type of friend who appreciates that. I was just telling my friend yesterday, like, I know sometimes I'm like, oh, you shouldn't do that because morally it's wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm a Christian, but God is still working on me. I still do things, I still sin like any other person. But like, my friends that I've been friends with, like if I'm friends with you, this particular person like that I'm going to dinner with, like we've been friends for years. Like we've been friends since 11th grade. And so it's like, if I know you and I know the type of person you are, and then you start making decisions that aren't you, and I see you venturing to a certain place, which I had to learn that sometimes people just need to find themselves as well. And it's okay for them to experience things in life to just see if it's something that they like, to just see if that's something, or to just get it out of their system. I'm the type of friend, when I see you doing something out of the norm, and like, I'm not trying to say, oh, don't do that because it's a sin and sinning is bad, but I'm the type of person like, bitch, we do enough stuff right now that we have to repent about. Do you really want to do that? Like, that's the type of friend I am. It's not that I'm judging you. It's not that, you know, I'm gonna stop being your friend because I feel like you're just doing so many things that are bad right now. Like, I'm not that type of friend. I just remind you beforehand, and sometimes I feel like it's my Christian duty, like, because I know God wants you to teach his word. That's the #1 thing he wants you to do. So it's like,
I'm just letting you know that it's morally wrong, but I support you in your decision and whatever you want to do.
That's the type of friend I am. So, I mean, hey, and my friend loves me for that. We're both like that. Like, if she sees me, she's done it before, like, if she sees me doing something out of the norm that she knows I'm probably going to regret later and have to repent for, she just reminds me, hey, you know, you're going to have to repent for that later. Like, it's wrong. But, or she'll let me know, like, hey, I don't support that. Like, we are not afraid of saying, hey, I don't support that, but I support you. Don't mind my nasal congestedness. My allergies have been horrible, so I'm about to blow my nose. Okay. So, I actually want this red to be more red. So, I think I'm going to go in with chili pepper. Chili pepper from the Carnival palette. And I'm going to go in, instead of like going back in and darkening up that blaze, I'm going to go in on top of it with, oh yes, chili pepper. But yeah, I hate when like people are like, when you say you don't want to do something because it's a sin, and they're like, oh, well, you do this and you do that, it's a sin anyway. Like, okay, I know I do that stuff. Why would I want to further sin or have a whole list of stuff to regret later in life, to have to repent for, to have to, like, if I have that willpower over it now, why can't I just keep that willpower? Why do I want to do it and then it becomes harder to reject and all this different stuff? Like, I eventually do want to be a not perfect person, but heaven worthy person. So it's just like, you know, life is short. I could die tomorrow. I want to go to heaven. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you having your own beliefs and stuff. I just feel like the same way people want respect for their beliefs and the things that they want to do, they should have the same respect for you. And when you say you don't want to do things, or when you say you don't believe in this or you don't support that, like, I just wish everybody had an understanding that, like, just because I don't like something that you're doing or I don't support something that you're doing doesn't mean I don't love or support you. Like, we can be friends and not like the same things. It's okay. Like, it's what makes you different as a person. Anyway, I'm going back in with that pink color, Love and Whirl. But I'm going in with that first color I had, and well, the second color I had on top of there again, and just intensifying the pink in it. I feel like the society that we live in today does not allow everyone to just have, it's like you have to like these things, you have to like there's no, if you just don't like what's trendy and what everybody's into now, then that just makes you a terrible person. And it's just like, it's horrible. But yeah, we all know our friends, we all know what pushes their buttons, and sometimes, like, you just have to know what type of person you can deal with. Like, if you know you can't deal with people who are the complete opposite of you, or if you have a friend who's the complete opposite of you, and you can be their friend, but just, you know, like, there's certain levels of friendship, and you just need to understand what level of friendship you are on with that person. Some people can be friends and talk to each other every single day, but some people can be friends and they need breaks from that friend. Like, you have to take breaks, and sometimes we call it social breaks, but really, you just need breaks from that person. And that's completely fine. Like, it technically is a social break, but you have friends that you could just be with all day long, and then you have those friends that you can only hang out with for a few hours. Like,
let's go get drinks and then take me home, or let's go eat and then take me home.
Okay, so I'm gonna dip into this beach black because I want it to be dark where my cut crease is. I am just going to gradually take that up above my crease, because I want you to be able to see the black, but I don't want it to be like,
oh my gosh, there's a black eyeshadow.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut my crease now. And remember, guys, if you don't hear me say anything specifically that I'm using, all the products will be named in the description box below. I personally hate cut creases. I don't hate them, I'm getting better at them. Like, that's how you know when someone says, oh, I hate makeup. It's just because they don't know how to do it. Because I am #1 at saying I hate something when I don't know how to do it. Yeah. Now it's doing what I like. So my next point in ways to be a good friend is put your friends on. Like, if you know that your friend is a writer and they love writing and that's their passion and that's their dream, and then you're just messing around with this guy who happens to know some publishers that could take your friend's career a little bit farther, or just even if it's something minor, as in a manager position, and you know a way to get your friend on, put your friend on. You're not putting your friends on when you have the chance to. You look like a hater. There's enough at the top for everybody to win. We are taking Express, this shimmer purple color, in the ColourPop palette. Yes, it is light, and I'm about to put it all up in there. Purple shimmer. I'm gonna take this dark purple at the bottom. Do not ask me to tell you what that is. I'm gonna take this dark purple, but I am going to put it right. So pigmented. So pigmented. I need a cleanup brush.
Me and your fucker, you are my body rocker. Skin it out, just up on the dumper trucker. Make me slap up your body, but me and nobody fucker. Girl, your pussy tight, so you're never gonna suffer. Hit by your toe like a sucker.
I'm also gonna bring it over here for the hell of it. Bring some purple over here. Trust it, trust it, trust it.
Your role come make me play cricket, me bars them a bowl. Me will give you anything except me soul, just to freaky things before you grow old. Skin it up, body to pussy are the realest.
I like it. Let's move on to the next side. So while I'm doing this, the next thing in friendship is being a good friend is just understanding honesty and trust, and understanding that you have to be honest with your friends. And what I mean by that is you should never feel like in a friendship you're walking on eggshells all the time. Like, you should be able to tell your friend how you feel. You should be able to be honest with your friend and y'all still be friends afterwards. Like you should be able to tell your friends the truth. And if you can't, then you need to distance yourself from that friend to be honest, because they're not being a good friend. And understanding that, you know, that's something I never understood in my past friendships, because it's like I've never told my friends anything to be malicious. I've never told my friends anything. Anytime I have, it's because I love them and I care about them. And you need to understand sometimes when your friends telling you things, it's because they love and care about you and they want the best for you. So, and that's why you should be able to be honest with your friends about your feelings at all times. But, you know, it also goes both ways though, because if your friend is doing something as far as pushing boundaries or something you don't like or something that bothers you, you need to tell them. You don't take anybody pushing your boundaries, no matter who it is, no matter how long y'all have been friends, not, oh, that's just that person, I know that's just that person. No, if it bothers you, you need to be able to tell that person. You shouldn't be sitting there letting anybody treat you any kind of way and disregard like your own boundaries for yourself and accept certain things or certain disrespect just because, oh, that's my friend, just to have a friend. Because to me, it's not that serious. We don't have to be friends, like in my book. But you know, but at the same time, if you're going to continue to be their friend, you need to be able to tell them when they're crossing boundaries and when something isn't okay. Because especially if you plan on continuing to be friends with them, because a lot of people, then you'll deal with, oh, well, it's never been a problem before, or I do this all the time, and it doesn't matter. Like, you have to nip it in the bud in the beginning if you don't like it, or if you have a problem with something. That doesn't mean nitpick and have a problem with everything, but you know, I had an issue with a friend of mine because there was certain behavior that she would do that I didn't like, and she felt like I should be okay with it. One, because her other friends were okay with it. Two, because she's done it before. And three, just because that's just her and her personality. But you have to understand, not everybody is the same. Not everybody likes the same things, and it's just like, I don't have to be okay with it because other people are okay with it. If I say I don't like something and you continue to do it, that's not going to do anything but make me not want to be around you. Why am I going to purposely come around you or be around you if I know you're going to do something to piss me off? Then you're going to lose a friend when you could have just stopped the behavior. It's also not cool to have a problem with something that somebody's doing and never say anything and just hold it in and hold it in and hold it in and take it out on them without ever voicing the problem. That is not okay to do. That's a very dick move. Like, it's not okay. Like, if, say for instance, if I make a comment about something that you did today and it bothers me, and I continue to hold on to it and hold on to it and hold on to it until one day I just completely cut you off and stop talking to you, and I don't tell you why, I don't know, or when I finally do tell you why, it's because of all this past stuff that I've never opened my mouth and said. Because then it's no longer, like, if I'm doing something to piss you off, if you've done something like that, then it's no longer my fault, it's your fault, because you're an adult and you have a mouth. I mean, at the end of the day, if you do something to piss me off, I'm going to tell you. All my friends know that. So if you sit up and you decide to hold things in because for whatever reason. You don't want to be honest, but yeah, if you're gonna sit there and hold it in, at that point it's no longer that person's issue, it's your issue because you decided to deal with it for so long. So you need to be honest with your friends when they're doing something to make you mad or piss you off, because like I said, the longer you hold it in, the more it becomes your issue. Your friend should also be able to trust you, because trust goes along with honesty. Like, just honor girl code, bruh. And there's so much going on in the world right now that I don't even think girl code exists anymore, but just, I don't know, do your best. Because there's just like, I'm gonna do a girl code series. I'm gonna do a girl code series on this channel because, so yeah, the next point is just understanding your differences when it comes to being friends. Don't be friends with anybody who makes you feel shitty for being different. Be with people who encourage you to be different. Like, there's a way to tell people certain things, but you also need to understand if you're not the best at telling your friends certain things, you cannot be upset when they tell you certain things a certain way. Like, you can't be a bitch to people and tell them things that you feel like they need to hear, and then when it comes to them telling you things that you need to hear, you feel like you're perfect and that they're just wrong and that it hurts your feelings. Like, you can't do that. If you're gonna dish it, you need to be able to take it. But at the same time, just as girls, we need to not be as judgmental. Like, it's hard because a lot of things, I know just as me as a person, a lot of people, well, a lot of my friends feel like I've had people who understand that I'm not being judgmental, that I'm just being momly, and I don't mean to be momly, it's just, I don't know, like, I don't know, I just want the best for my friends. But it's okay if your friends like different things than you, and that you shouldn't be judging. Like, even if you're not judging them, it comes off as judgy when we say things a certain way, because some people just don't want to hear it. And like I said, you just have to know the type of friends you have, and if you know they're not going to hear it, you know they're going to take it that way, let them be. But yeah, being understanding and not judging sometimes, is understanding that sometimes, like, girls go through different phases. Like, I know you've all heard of the whole phase. Me personally, I've always been in serious relationships since high school. And then my dad was very, very strict. On top of me having social anxiety from being in a very strict household and a lot of trauma that I've been through in my childhood, I didn't have a whole phase. So, but I had friends who definitely did, and I can understand, like, in certain positions where you just don't judge other girls for having whole phases, especially if you had one. Like, you just don't judge your friends or make them feel bad when they keep going to the same fuckboy over and over if you've done it. Like, that's one thing I can't stand that I see all over the internet. Every time there's a cheating scandal or anything, everybody judges the woman so harshly, when half of these people who are commenting are probably still smashing their baby daddy who's no good. Like, there's nothing better than the girl who gets on Facebook and trashes her baby daddy every single day, and she has 2 or 3 kids by him. Okay, so did he just become trash yesterday, a few hours ago? Because you've been bashing him since y'all were just boyfriend and girlfriend before the babies were brought into the situation. Just saying. I just feel like people should have less of an opinion, because we know how we females are when we love somebody. A lot of us love hard, and it's hard to leave somebody who you know is doing you wrong when you're so invested and you honestly just don't want to leave. Like, that's your business, and that's your business, nobody else's. And the last place that you should worry about being judged is by your friends. But at the same time, like, you know, if you just doing some shady stuff and you're back and forth with this guy and y'all are breaking each other's car windows and slashing tires and stuff like that, and you know you're gonna take him back, give your friends a break and understand that sometimes that shit is annoying. Like, don't bend as much, because y'all need listening ears too, though. So hey, who am I to judge? I've already told you to respect each other's boundaries. If you don't respect each other's boundaries, it leads to you basically pushing that person away, because people have boundaries for a reason. It's not your job to try to make those boundaries not boundaries or push them out of their comfort zone. It's okay to encourage your friends to do stuff to get out of their zone, out of their comfort zone just a little bit. But if they are 100% against it and you see that it's making them frustrated and angry and they express that to you, stop. It doesn't matter who's all okay with that usually. Doesn't matter if that's just your personality. It doesn't matter. Respect your friends' boundaries. But my next point, as I come to the end of this look, my next point would be understanding that friendship goes both ways. And when I say that, I hate the friendships where people are like, oh, well, you don't call me, oh, well, you don't text me, or you stop calling, or this is that. It works both ways. If you're my friend and you want to talk to me, call me or text me. Like call me or text me if you miss me, if you want to talk or something. Stop taking it to heart and feeling like, oh, we're not friends because she doesn't call, she doesn't text. We're adults, and even if you're not an adult, people have lives, people go through things, people be depressed. Like, people are introverted, people don't like talking on the phone. Like, do your part. I've never understood that, because when your friend is like being shady and not being your friend anymore, you know it. Like, if you call and they're being shady on the phone, or they're being super dry, like they don't want to talk to you, then be worried. If they're not wanting to hang out with you anymore and they don't really have a reason, but they're hanging out with other people, then be worried. But like, you aren't calling me or texting me, that's not a... I low-key feel like people who say that are just sometimes low-key feel a certain type of way because they don't have anything going on. Like, don't bring our friendship into you feeling bad because you don't have anything going on. And if you feel bad because you don't have anything going on, just say that and we can go and do something. Like, sometimes being a good friend is just understanding that I can't be your friend all the time because I got stuff going on. Not being mad at friends for taking me time or taking time to be with their boyfriends, or it's not being a good friend by being mad at friends who choose them sometimes, or who just don't feel like being a friend all the time. Like, you have parents, and if you don't, get a therapist. It's not just one friend's job to be a friend. Like, pick up your phone and call them if you miss them, especially when you know there's no tension. Like, that person's not ignoring you because they want to. It's just they need some time to themselves. Maybe they're depressed, maybe they have stuff going on, maybe they got a kid. Just be understanding, because some of y'all, listen, I had a friend like that would do that, or you don't call, or you don't text, or you don't let me know. But at the same time, there was a point in time in life where other things were important and they didn't reach out, or they didn't call, or they weren't texting and stuff like that, and I never took it to heart. So being a friend is being understanding. Just saying. And I've already told you, but of course we all know, being understanding is understanding that you're not the only one who can give advice and who needs to listen. Just like when you're giving your friends advice and you feel like you're being, you know, Mother Goose, and that you're looking out for their best interest because they're your best friend and you don't want to see anything bad happen to them, you need to be thinking the same thing when they're trying to give you advice. Let's not be hypocrites, but let's not also be petty and feel like, oh, well, she's been calling me out on a lot of stuff lately that I've been doing and this and that, so I'm gonna call out things her that is wrong. Yeah, don't do that. Like, if you don't want to be told about your wrong decisions, then just say that. Be like, I know that what I'm doing is wrong and I don't care and I don't want you telling me that it's wrong. It's that simple. But you can't be the annoying friend that's always doing things that you know your friend doesn't want you to do, and then feeling like when you don't want them doing something, then they just shouldn't do it. It's about meeting each other halfway. It's about meeting halfway, understanding the type of friend that you have so that you can handle them accordingly. Being a listening ear for when your friends need it, because honestly girls need a listening ear at some point. But the last thing I'm going to say is, like, you should always be able to talk out you guys' differences when you disagree. Even if you disagree and you need to take some space and some time to breathe and come back. You know, real friendships last. And just because a friendship doesn't last doesn't mean it wasn't a real friendship. Just meant that some people are only here for a certain amount of time and that time was up. If things don't work out and you end up going your separate ways, you need to still honor girl code and not tell people things that that person told you at a very vulnerable part in time in their lives, and when they're like trusted you when they trusted you at their most vulnerable. Don't go telling that person's business or that person's secrets just because y'all have fallen out. Like, that's not cool. And karma is a bitch and she always gets hers. I wouldn't want any of my ex-friends telling my secrets, and I will never tell theirs. Even if I find out that they're telling my secrets, I would never want that karma on myself. Secrets are meant to be secrets, and that's just something I never do. I don't know. I just feel like that is a big no-no. That is a big girl code no-no. Understand that sometimes when some people come to you with a problem or because they feel like a boundary has been crossed, you need to be willing to listen, because some people like me, I had a friend who felt like, oh, why do we always have to talk about every issue when we have an issue? When I'm a type of person, if some type of person, you know what type of friend I am, if something bothers me, I need to talk about it because I don't want it happening again. I definitely pick and choose my battles, but if something's happening that bothers me to the point to where I bring it to you, it's because I don't want it to happen again. Because if it keeps happening, I don't, like, you don't want to be the one to say it, but you're pushing me away, and it's gonna come a time where I don't want to hang out with you anymore, or I don't want to be your friend anymore. So, you know, don't be that type of friend who feels like y'all should be such good friends that you don't have to talk about things and stuff like that, because in this particular instant, my friend was making me feel bad that every single time I have an issue, oh, why do you always have to come to me with it and talk and stuff like that? So one particular time I had an issue with her that was a major issue for me, and I didn't talk to her about it. I just stopped being her friend. And later on, when we patched things up, she was like, you just stopped talking to me, you didn't, you know, talk to me about it and stuff like that. You could have talked to me about it. And I was like, no, I couldn't, because you told me to stop coming to you with my issues. So, you know, I did try to have a conversation with you. I saw the conversation was getting nowhere. I saw that you were getting irritated and that you wanted no parts of it. So I just didn't come to you with it anymore, and it really bothered me. I didn't see any repair of our friendship afterwards, so I stopped talking to you. So you never want to be that friend that's like, you know, oh my gosh, she always has a problem, she's always this, she's always that, especially if you value the friendship. If you value the friendship, be able to sit down and talk to that person. But now I am going to get dressed and meet up with my friends. We went swimming earlier this week, like the day before yesterday, and so now we're going to her birthday dinner, of course, because everybody's here was, you know, so we needed a day to get ourselves together and go eat at a dinner. But yes, guys, I will see you guys in the rest of this vlog. Those are my tips on being a good friend. I am going to be doing a girl code series because this vlog was all over the place because I was running out of time, so I had to edit a lot of stuff out and just kind of, I was all over the place. So I was repeating myself a lot, definitely. But I definitely will be doing a girl code series because we just need one. Like, we really do. Like, a lot of y'all didn't watch that TV show when it was out, and it shows. So I'm gonna be doing that, and in the meantime, I'll see you guys later.
We call new star, can't make a complaint, so you don't stop mash up me brain. Girl, you a body broker, you know fi turn it that way. You a body broker, you know fi bring out your foot and you a body broker. You know fi play with the body, with it like a broker. You know fi sit down, you a body broker. Girl, ride with it and you a body broker. You for your night with it and you a body broker. Fi ass slim down it broker, you a body broker. She let it rock, 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 rock. She let it rock, 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 rock. She let it rock, 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 rock. Kick on the girl, let it rock, rock, rock.
Look at this this lady right here. Shake that asshole. Shake that.
Why do you like it?
I don't know. It's because I like booty. You know this. I love your hair.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to this one.
Thank you.
We went swimming, which is like, I think, both of our favorite thing to do ever. And
We
now,
need to start doing that more often.
yes, I want to go the next time. I can't go the next time you go.
I'll go every Wednesday. Fuck her out of here.
I'm gonna hit you up on Wednesday when these braids get old. Hello, everybody. You look good, Allison. Thank you. You look good. I look like a stripper from the neck up, and then. Oh, say hi to the vlog. Say hi to the vlog.
I'm sorry.
This is Shantila. Y'all ain't never seen her before, but she here. You pour that in there? Or did you just
No,
pour it?
I just
Oh,
started.
I'm about to.
And that bitch good as fuck. I'm
This is hi. This is my girlfriend. Hello, girlfriend here.
You like my earrings?
I do. They're different.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know, you got mismatch earrings.
The other ones are in my purse. I've been,
Yeah.
It's here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love your hair.
I did it yesterday, so it's still very, very new.
I love
And
it.
everyone looked at me. I'm like, hey guys.
love it.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Are you disappointed about it? It sounds like I don't like, unless it's like actual women. I don't like fake women. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
like women high.
I get fucked up on that. I need like 5 of them.
You, bro. It's so I mean, he's like older.
Sometimes I forget that we grown.
I like my women older. I do too.
I forget that we grown and y'all be talking about some of the dudes y'all talk to. And I be like, we are children. Like, dude.
Meanwhile, I'm talking from outside years younger than me. I like my man.
See, you over here robbing the cradle. He need to tell his mama.
They can't enjoy.
We got bread still.
bread.
I like bread.
I love bread. That's what's wrong with all of us.
That's why we fat.
Right.
She's on the soap job.
Your childhood. What the fuck on? Is it too long or something?
And I got the 3, what you call it? That's why.
That's what it is. And you usually have 4.
Y'all, lately I've been having like wet dreams about Drake, and I don't even never.
Drake?
I ain't never felt myself. I have never.
I gotta go home, man. I'm sick.
Listen, I have never been sexually attracted to Drake, and
You shouldn't have been now.
I'm sitting here eating soup. My nose gonna run the fuck away.
You know
His music.
stuff before.
That's it.
You know his music before bed. You know that's how you have nightmares.
Well, I do listen to a lot of his sexual music.
That's why then.
That's probably what it is. I kind of did, but I kind of zoned out.
I said, what did you eat before bed? I said, because that's how you have nightmares. Cause y'all don't
Y'all, we need to go to the strip club together.
I'm here for it.
I've never been to one.
Yeah.
No.
I want to be
I've been wanting to go once.
I want to be one too.
I want to go to a good one. Damn, is your drink that strong?
No, I'm tickled.
Why are you tickled? I want to man.
No.
Cause she's feeling it.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
He never.
I got some booties.
I got little people with chicken, being little people with beef.
And if I actually like the shrimp, I'm definitely not getting no goddamn motherfucking salad. Y'all literally just put a salad and put some damn olives on it and slice some baby tomatoes.
So I guess we're not coming back.
There's no meat. There's no meat. And they put Fenty pop. There's no meat. You want my drink? No. Where's the meat, man?
I should have brought you my Snickers at the house.
Cause I'm not myself when I'm hungry.
Oh no, you yourself. You just need to be somebody else.
Let me go ahead and take a picture of y'all drinks and stuff before Shane kill this bitch off.
Underneath you no rank like rockboard. You go down in no tired. You no carry lazy fool. Cock up your body and brace the pole. Crush me cocky.
You almost put your orange. I promise you I wasn't giving it back.
You are my body joker. Skin it out just up and the down back choker. Let me slap up your body up in a nobody fucker. Get your pussy tight so you never gonna suffer. Tip on your toe like a sucker you a buffer. Sperm send me must stick and coke and butter. Rub it down on your belly down. Pitch back your collar. Get your pussy goody good a damn cool. Put your pum pum just so get it in a control. Be a back shot burn up your tight hole. Don't run off a hood you pass the right hole. You no fucking focus on it up on your roll. Come make me play cricket me balls never roll. Maybe give you anything and send me soul just to free the things before you grow old. Skin it up. But it up pussy are the realest version. Right me cocky fit well feel long. Right like Georgina. Surgeon play with the man to the year on. But it up pussy are the realest version. Right me cocky fit well feel long. Right like Georgina. Surgeon play with the man to the year on. You want bring me to the Gaza. Me and make you know CG a Grwm, KG a wake. And them one day you play all of the tune. When me do bout your life and I call up your name. Baby, me say me love your arms. Tariff bank fame. Can't cope. I will tell you say me truth to the game. We call new star. Can't make a complaint. So you don't stop much.